Hi everybody and a warm welcome back to Maple Leaf Customs in Switzerland. I'm Andrew, and on the bench today is a 1:64 scale Hot Wheels Hirohata Merc. I've been seeing this car all over YouTube, which is testament to its popularity, probably because the real car that it's based on is such a classic. I've never worked on one of these before, and I need to make that right today. This is going to be my entry to this year's Canada Day Custom Diecast Invitational, and it's going to my friend Mike Esposito, who's collecting these Mercs from around the world. Now he'll have a Swiss edition. No surprises once I get this cracked open. It's got the basic components, this metal casting, clear glass, which is always a relief when you're doing a custom job, and not a very realistic looking all chrome interior. Why does Hot Wheels do that? This one has a plastic chassis. That'll be getting a respray. The original Hot Wheels are plastic too, but they're nice white walls. Back ones are covered up by a skirt, so I don't see any need to replace these. Hanging on to that pair. I've got a couple of other castings you'll see again in a few moments for the purposes of some blown engines and big side exhausts. Potential donors. The Hirohata Merc is a 1951 lead sled custom car designed and built in 1953 for Bob Hirohata by George and Sam Barris, assisted by Frank Sonzogni. Often called the most famous custom of the classic era, it had an enormous effect on custom car builders. The Hirohata Merc appeared in several magazines of the time and has reappeared numerous times since, earning an honorable mention on Rod & Custom's 20 Best of All Time list in 1991. The car's enormous impact can be measured by the fact that after more than 50 years and numerous owners, it's still known as the Hirohata Merc. Here's one of the potential parts donor cars. I'm thinking of pulling the engine from this one. I also pulled out a couple of previously 3D printed designs. That's a twin turbo variety. I especially like this one. So detailed. Look at the spark plug wires. Whatever I do, I'm going to have to cut a hole in the hood of the Merc. That's been done, and now I can clean it up a little bit with one of these carbide tip attachments. There's a test fit. You know, they are ridiculously oversized, the look we often go for. You know what comes right after Canada Day? U.S. Independence Day, and I'm going to do the Stars and Stripes treatment on the Silverado. Also a head-to-head comparison with a Blazer and a Land Cruiser. And in July and August, you'll see a series of my annual summer road trip buddy builds. I'll give you ample notice for each of those four. My Merc has now been primered. I've masked off the roof. The simple guideline for the Canada Day build is to customize any car in the Canadian flag colors of red and white. So I get out my bright red Vallejo acrylic paint, do a little test spray on a plastic spoon, make sure I've got the right pressure set and a good flow, and on it goes. I'm using a Gaahleri GHAD 68 trigger style airbrush with a 0.5mm nozzle that's just right for this job. I give it a light tack coat, let that dry up about 10 minutes and apply 2 top coats for a brilliant finish. I masked off just the front and rear chrome bumpers on this plastic interior piece. Sprayed the rest of it with some oven cleaner, which took the chrome off right down to this black plastic, which is the look I was going for the interior. A little less work than the real-life job that you see here. A special Canada Day community shout-out to my fellow Canadian on the YouTube channel Cardo Crafts. Please follow the link I left in the description to check out what he's got going on. Oh my, I think that was also in July. Just one special decal goes on my Hirohata Merc, prominently standing out white on red. I can put it all back together now. I never had to handle the glass. There's my centrally dechromed plastic interior. I resprayed the plastic chassis in all white, and the original wheels go back in place. Notice only the rear screw goes back in place, at least functionally. I cut out the front post when I open the hood, so I'll just glue a screw head in there. The big blown engine will be glued in, centered, and properly leveled off camera. Let's have a closer look. You know what? I'm uncomfortable with the scale of that engine. That's ridiculously oversized. That one just, well, you couldn't see the road from behind the steering wheel. Pity, because it's so beautifully detailed. I'll have to scale it down and print it again for another custom job. So, one engine swap later, let's have another closer look. This is a twin turbo model with some exhaust stacks coming right out. Any better road view? No, probably not. Oh well, I like it a little bit better. The red and white is glistening under the lights. Notice I did chrome highlights with some nail art strips down the side. Stands out nicely. Hot Wheels really did a pretty accurate replica in the original two-tone green. This lead sled will always be a custom classic. But for Canada Day, I wanted to go red and white. So that's the direction this project took, with the big blown engine, original wheels, one maple leaf on each rear quarter panel. The extra low stance is still the same as the original. Have an up-close 360-degree view. I think it looks right at home on top of that beautiful flag, don't you? I've already sent a few teaser pics of the finished project to Mike Esposito, the intended recipient of this one. All it needs now is a custom acrylic display case with a holographic certificate of authenticity and a Canadian map on the background. I'll ship this off right away, and Mike will have the most recent addition to his international collection. Big thanks to everyone who participated today. Please send your glamour pics in to that email address and look for a recap video in about a week's time. A very happy Canada Day to all of my viewers, no matter your country of birth or residence. These little cars unite all of us. Thanks so much for visiting my channel again today. Come on back soon and often. It's coffee time.